Good morning, Keller Williams. It's Jeremy Cannon, your Market Center Tech Trainer. And today we're going to be going through how to get into Command and create that folder for your buyer or your seller. We've got a piece of business we need to work with, and maybe we're trying to get into Docusign and start filling out documents. So the first place I'm going to have you go is to Command, agent.kdb.com. And the section we're going to be working with any actual piece of business, or a transaction, a buyer, a seller. We need to fill documents out, anything like that is going to happen in this opportunities section. This is also where we do compliance. So once we have signed documents, we're going to submit them to the office. We're going to request our disbursement authorization, our DA for closing. It all happens in this opportunities section. Now, once you get here, first thing you're going to notice is there's two sections at the top, one for listings and one for buyers. And then we have this pipeline for each side of the business. So we've got these 5 phases: cultivate, appointment, active, under contract, and closed. This is a way for you to stay organized throughout the process of where your listing or where your buyer is in their particular piece of business. So you can kind of keep an eye on where they are. We can move them through the pipeline as they progress towards closing, because hopefully we're all going towards closing, right? That's the goal. Now, underneath any of these phases, so if I look under, let's just do a buyer. If I go to active under a buyer, you can see I've got these stages underneath. So searching, showing, negotiations. You can totally edit these to change and customize how you do business. So this pipeline, the goal is this is going to reflect what your actual process looks like. So I know they've got these defaults in here, and KW did a good job of setting these up, but certainly feel free to edit these, and you can add additional steps in there if you want. You can reduce them if there's too many and it's just not the way you do business. Feel free to customize this pipeline. There is more you can do with opportunities, but that's at least the basics to get you started. Now, just food for thought here. Buyers and listings don't go through the same process, right? So if I go to active under a listing, it's going to be slightly different. I've got pre-listing, showing, and negotiations. And this is a good example of something that I have actually customized. I changed my first stage into pre-listing. I think by default it might be staging. But again, feel free to hit the edit stages button. You can edit the names, you can delete steps, you can add more, just whatever makes sense for you and your business. Now, when we're ready to work with a client, or maybe we're still in cultivate an appointment and they've told us we're going to do business in the near future, I'm going to go ahead and create this opportunity so it's in my pipeline, it's staying front of mind with me, and I know where I am with that seller or that buyer. So hit create opportunity. Now, some of you may be a part of a team. Make sure you're selecting your team so that way it goes into the team pipeline and not your personal pipeline. If you're not a part of a team, this should be grayed out. You shouldn't have to worry about it. And also, if you're part of multiple market centers like me, please make sure you're selecting the correct market center. That's who it's going to send the compliance file to. So you just want to make sure you're checking that. But I know not everybody is a part of multiple market centers, so may not be something you need to worry about. Now, you do have to choose an opportunity type. So anything with these little red stars is going to be required. So make sure you're choosing the correct pipeline, listing or buyer. I'm just going to do a listing today. And owner is always going to be you. This is the owner of the opportunity, not the owner of the property. Now, client, this is going to search your contacts for a client that you've already entered. Now, if you have not entered them already, you can see I've already done Peter Parker. But if this wasn't the right Peter Parker, or if I wanted to, if they didn't exist at all, I do have an option to go ahead and create a contact here. So feel free to do that if you need to. But if you've already put them in your contacts, go ahead and select them. And of course, a co-seller or co-buyer as needed. You can completely edit the name as needed as well. Tags are a way for you to put labels on this opportunity. So maybe a first-time seller, first-time buyer, an investor, a past client, whatever makes sense to us, but this is not required. Neither are the next 3 sections. So if we've got that information, go ahead and put it in, but you don't have to. And especially for a buyer, we may not know their budget, or it'll be slightly different, but we may not know the estimated list price. Now, your commission rate is going to be your percentage. So typically going to be 3%, just our half. And then we're going to choose which phase and which stage we're starting in. And after I hit create, that's going to take me into my opportunities. And we'll pick up in the next video on how to get into Docusign. Have a great day, everybody.